second oldest grandson of Al Moss. That's our grandfather Moss, Al Moss. There's a lot of Al Mosses that everybody knows. But anyway, I'm the oldest son of Cornelius Moss and Thelma Moss. And I've spent a lot of time with our grandfather, over the years, doing his farming, his herding, and etc. Yeah.
I'm Charles Moss. I'm the son of, they call him Buddy Moss, but his name was Gillenstein Moss. Gillenstein Moss and Florence Wheeler Moss.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the oldest son of Buddy Moss and Florence Moss. Out of the 8 children, there was 2 boys and 6 girls. And we worked the farm ourselves. My mother and father, they raised 8 kids working the farm. And myself and Alfred, we worked the farm for Grandpa Moss, what he was saying about Al Moss.
Mm-hmm.
He would find nothing wrong with coming to pick up me and Alfred, take us up to his house, work all day. He would time us to come home that afternoon. We'd tell him, say, Grandpa, we ain't finished. All right, son, see you tomorrow. So that means we had to walk home that day. But other than that, the way he got his wealth, I have no idea. But he sold a lot of cotton, corn, and wheat, oats, and stuff like that. Fertilizer. He was into the commodity business, like.
Mm-hmm.
And we was doing the labor for him. He was a supervisor. So all I know is we put it in the barn, and when you know anything, it was gone. That's about it.
Well, back to what Charles was saying, the fall of the year, when planting time came for the crop, well, just before the crop, he would order this fertilizer. You got to have fertilizer before you get the seeds, things to put in the ground.
Right.
He would order these train carloads of fertilizer. And his dad was really in charge of the budget, which is Charles' dad was in charge of hauling the fertilizer to the warehouse, which is still up there at the big house. Correct?
Yeah.
And they were 200-pound sacks now.
Mm.
Yeah. And we had to lift them out of the car box onto the truck, which was a truck, a 1.5-ton truck. Uncle Buddy drove the truck most of the time. We load the truck from the car box, go to the warehouse. That was the storage area for those fertilizers to distribute them later on to the farmers and things, and to the fields where they would plant their crops and things. That was in the spring of the year, during the time you plant the crops. And, after that, and then summertime comes, it's getting hay time to get the hay for the cow.
Mm-hmm.
He was a herder also. At one point, he had, estimated, they say, 150 head of cow.
Wow.
And we used to have a cattle drive also in the spring of the year. You would take them down on the same lake down here, which they call the river. It's a Savannah River that divides South Carolina from Georgia. Okay. At some point, we would have to get the horses, the mules, everything, gather them up in the cattle drive, just like you see on TV. Drive them from the house to the river, the big house to the river.
Wow.
From the pasture.
That's a long way. We drove that today. That's about what, 5-6 miles?
About 4 miles in Charles. Yes, approximately between 3 and 4 anyway. And it have to laugh because they didn't have saddles and things for those animals that you rode. The mules and the horses. And that means that in your practice you get some kind of sore, from the ride. Yes. Mm-hmm. It wasn't an easy task. And we did that in the spring of the year. the grass is growing, sprouting out, and at some point, fires and things, and I think he set those fires purposely like they do in Africa,
Right.
to clear it, then get a new growth of grass.
Okay.
And that's what he did. And then eventually he put up some fences down there so those cows could be kind of considered, in the area where you know where they are. And he could come down there with that truck and call them, whoo! You'll see them come running.
Mm.
The whole herd of cows come running to where he was.
Mm.
He may have a block of salt or something, that they licked off, for them. And sometimes he may have some feed or something like that.
Now, what was the reason for driving them down to the river? What was going on?
For them to graze the grass.
Okay.
Spring of the year when grass come out.
Okay.
And they graze there until the fall of the year. Then we had to take them back to the house so he can feed them for the winter.
Okay.
Put them up for the winter, so to speak. I mean, they stayed in the pasture, but at night, he put them in the lot, the cows, right? Yeah, and so he can feed them.
Okay.
And that's what he did. He bred cows and things like that. And he also had a store there in Wellington, which partially is still standing, right? I have to say partially, because there's no roof in it, there's no back in it, there's no windows in it, but it is a lock on the front door. Serves no purpose, but it's there.
This is
And
William Belcher speaking. Now, who delivered the beef? I mean, who drove
okay,
them up?
now, who killed him? His dad, Uncle Buddy, my dad, and Uncle Calhoun were the ones that slaughtered the cattle on Friday night and dressed them out and cut them up, right? Yeah. Okay, Grandpa opened the stove. I think it was when we came along about every other Saturday. And he opened the stove to sell first beef. And I remember my daddy used to take the back seat out of his car. He had a two-door car named 2804. He would take the seat out of the back of the car and they put paper down in the back. That's where they put the beef. And he would peddle it from door to door.
Mm.
You remember that on the show? Yeah. And Grandpa sold beef at the stove. He opened that store in 1919. I didn't know exactly, but I saw it in the McCormick Messenger where he opened that store in 1919, right there in Wellington, at the meat market, right? Yeah. Like I say, it's still standing and it belonged, within the family. Yeah. But there's nothing to it now, and there probably never will be anything to it.
Is that the same store that Geraldine opened there for a little while? Right
No.
That's a different one.
That was right after the stove.
Okay.
that they opened up. Yeah.
Is that how Grandpa accumulated most of his wealth, selling the beef?
I wouldn't. He had multiple things going.
Yeah, he sold corn, oats, wheat.
Yeah.
We pull all that corn and stock it out there in the, what you call that, not the hay shed, but the full house.
Mm.
That other potato house, I think they call it, yeah.
Yeah, that was the seed house.
Yeah, that's,
Where he sold the cotton seeds from that.
yeah, the corn
Yeah.
was stacked in there too. And back to that hay, Alfred was always the oldest one, and he was larger than I was. Alfred would be hauling hay, Alfred would be on the ground. He threw it on the wagon, and I had to catch it from him and stack it.
Then he got a truck now. We had to put it up in the loft
It's
of the
still,
barn that's still there.
yeah, and he would throw it off the truck right there in that opening. Now, we didn't know how hot it was, whether it was 100, 120 or what. He threw it up to me in that little opening in that barn. I'd catch it from him and had to take it all the way to the back on that tin top barn.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was hot up there too.
Is that the same thing y'all did with the cotton?
No, the cotton. A lot of times he had a lot of hands. They call it. He helped. Hired along with his grandchildren together that cotton. And that babe was right there.
Yeah.
Can't leave her out. That was his sister. And he would bear give her the cotton, harvest it, take it to the gin, bring those bales home until the prices got right as to what he wanted. During the season, gathering season, prices were much lower than it would near Christmas time. And he used to leave them out on the ground. I remember one time there at Christmas time, Charles and me out there shooting firecrackers, and on the bands around it was metal bands, and we struck a match on that right and set the cotton afire. You remember that, Charles?
Alright, you remember that?
He and I was out there shooting firecrackers.
Oh,
Man,
good.
he had about 8 or 10 bales out there. He used to keep 8 or 10 bales of cotton out there. And you talking about 500-pound bales of cotton, or better.
Wow.
Yeah, because the average bale of cotton was at least 500 pounds. Yeah. And Grandpa kept that out there. I mean, you know, where other people had to go to the gym and spin out, well, pay up as to what they had borrowed, you know,
Right.
to get those couple of bales of cotton that he had, multiple bales of cotton. Yeah. And he could save his because, you know, he just wasn't pressing money. And like a lot of other people, you know, around here.
So what did you do? You set the bales on fire? You got in trouble for that?
Yeah, we got in trouble for that.
Did you destroy all of them, or just a few?
No. It just caught a fire. It burned a little hole in it, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was this
Called
compressed?
cotton, you know,
It's
cotton.
compressed.
Cotton, you get that cotton in there and set it afire. Boom. It goes almost like gas, right?
Yeah, he would sell anything.
Oh, yeah.
Chickens, turkeys, pecan,
Yeah. Cream, you know, he used to have those 5-gallon cans of
yeah,
cream, like on Saturday, you take them down to McCombie, somewhere now.
yeah.
Selling that they brought in good money.
Mhm.
And you want to know what was the purpose of carrying the cows down on the river? We had the farm up where the cows were grazing at in the wintertime. Come summertime, they had to go down to the river so we could farm up there around the house,
Okay.
plant the crops up there.
Okay.
And after we gathered the crops, we bring them back up, let them clean up there.
Wow.
And we was riding cowboy before TV even come out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes, indeed.
Well, riding mules. We didn't have no horses, we ride mules.
That's right. Well, he had 2 horses.
Oh, yeah.
Grandpa had 2 of those red no lizard.
Yeah.
He used to like those lizards because he was black.
Oh, you always took
The lizards was the runners horse around,
we
right?
had raised on a Sunday with them 2 horses. He always rode on lizard. Because those lizards could run faster than old red could. He
Not
outrun
true,
Red.
not true, not true. Hey, he was pawing old red off on me. And that was an older horse that had been bred to this jackass, and I had 2 mules. Daddy's mule and his daddy's mule when they first gave him, when they first started farming. He bred his horse and to give them the land, for them to farm the land that he had given them to farm. They ain't bought no land. He gave them that land. Yeah,
But
he set them up.
they Daddy told me, he says, when Grandpa was acquiring his land, the people weren't allowed to go to the courthouse at that time. And Miss Ola, I think it was, or Miss McNeil, one of them.
Miss McNeil, yes.
McNeil would go to the courthouse and find people land that's coming up for taxes.
Mm.
She would acquire it, and I don't know how she got it in Grandpa's name. And at that time, land was selling for 25 cents an acre.
Mm.
So everything she could buy up that people were losing for their taxes, she would turn it over to Grandpa in his name.
Wow.
Maybe she made a little fee on it, so I
don't know.
understand. Right?
I don't
That's
know how
what
much-
William just said. You heard it.
Oh yeah. She sold the house.
Like the
She
house.
bought it for
Yeah.
$3,500 and sold the grandpa for $4,000.
Probably
Yeah.
was.
And I didn't know anything about that fees, those fees and things. Like I say, he didn't tell you nothing anyway, right?
Yeah. She made out. She didn't
I don't
do
even
bad.
know if Grandma knew anything.
No,
she didn't.
Only thing she knew was time to go to the grocery store on Saturday to Walker Lagroon. She used to mix her beef and her pork together, half and half, have it ground up at the store down on McCombie, down 28, just before you get to McCombie. Yeah. somebody had robbed that man and killed him. And the store had fallen down now, but his old truck's still in the yard. Yeah, I saw it the other day now. He used to raise cattle also.
Everybody had cotton and cattle if they could afford the cattle, but that's what the money makers was. Cotton and cattle.
But you had to have a cow though, if you wanted to eat. Because you can't milk.
And when cotton went out, that's when everybody left the South and went north somewhere to find a job.
Yeah, we went out too. I joined the army. Yeah, I was 3 days before I was 19. Yeah, I was sworn in.
Anything else, you would have to be there to experience it yourself.
How about that? You got it. You wasn't here, right?
No.
Yeah. Oh, and I also said when I was student in England for 25 months, and I used to tell the guys, I wouldn't tell a mule to get up if he sat in my lap. I would find some way to wiggle out money. As soon as I got to the house, the next day I got home from England and I was up to Grandpa. But I'm glad you're here, son. You know, I need that Sarisa. That's a Sarisa field cut. Oh, Lord, I got to go against my word again, right? Got to hook up 2 mules instead of 1 to the mow. Go down and mow that Sarisa, and you got to get that Sarisa up before the sun go down, right?
Yeah, for weather.
That's exactly right. If you didn't, you cut it in the morning. You got to get it up in the evening after it dry out basically all the way. If not, the leaves will fall off. And then the only thing you have is a stem.
Wow.
And that wasn't much, to feed the cow. Yeah, I thought it fall on the ground. Yeah. I got to put this in the jar. He talked me into working on harvest with him one year. You don't remember that part?
No.
He furnished the feed, everything, the seeds, the fertilizer, and everything. And I just had to do the work. So I would collect half the money at harvest time. But unfortunately, I had to get somebody to help me to work because I didn't feel like working on farm, And he would pay the people off. Miss May Becker and what's her mama's name? I know her name, I can't call her. But they were my employees. To chop the cotton, hoe it, and then I plow it. Come time to harvest, I had to get them to pick the cotton for me, because I ain't never picked the cotton. And at the end of the year, I'm in the hole. I never collected anything because I didn't make anything.
Learned an important lesson about business.
Yeah, and that ended farming for me.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't get anything out of that, but chewing out, for not being there when I should have been.
but did he drive y'all? Make y'all drive him around all the time?
I used to drive him to a
Oh, yeah.
hospital. When he had that surgery, you wouldn't know, or do you?
Yeah, I do know what you're talking
He
about.
had
Yeah.
surgery in Anderson.
Mhm.
I think it was kidney stone, right?
Mhm.
I think I must have been about, 15, 16 years old. Right?
I used to drive me around all the time. In fact, I drove the beef truck
You did?
on Saturday evening.
Oh, really?
And he'd go around to the different farmers.
What he had left in the stove?
I don't know where it came from. When I found out, when I know everything was on the truck, and
Uh,
I was designated to drive. We'd go around and sell people beef. If you had 5 kids, you'd come out there and pick out what you want. And
yeah, that's what
he
it
didn't
is.
have no scales, nothing. He just
All right.
$2 for this,
Mm-hmm.
$3 for that piece. You had your meat for dinner. And I was driving to McCormick down to where you got them cars from down there. I can't think of the name.
Oh, McGraw.
Yeah, McGraw. And he'd go into McGraw, and I said I didn't wait till he come back, and we'd come on back. And to this day, I ain't got corn ice cream at all.
Yeah. And I'll tell you another thing he did. He used to go down in Georgia somewhere and get that truck that time they had a truckload of watermelons. You remember that? Scaler bottles. They were scaler bottles. Different type of watermelon. than they had around here at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And that he had a body on it that he hauled the cattle in the truck and load that rock up, by the field, whole field of water. Come back and sell them too. Yeah. I think one was selling like about 50 cents a piece. Then the same one you pay $6, $7 for.
So he made his money all over.
He sold, like Charles said, he sold in and everything to be sold, really. And bought just about anything and everything that he wanted, right?
Yeah.
Tractors,
Brand
like
new
you say,
to it.
bull, he paid as much as $3,000 you say for a bull. Bull they used to have out there by the turkey yard.
Yeah.
People bring the cattle in there, the cows in to be bred,
Yeah.
things like that. Yeah.
All right, your turn.
I'm listening to you guys. You're doing pretty good. I mean,
He raised turkeys also. Tell him about that.
Oh, yeah.
Everything that you look up, every time it rains, look up and drown themselves, right?
All right, I'm finished.
okay, all right, thanks.
Hello, my name is Geraldine Moss Ware. I'm the grandchild of Alfred Moss, and I'm also the child of Florence Moss, Florence Wheeler Moss, and Gillenstein Moss. I am number 7 of the children. 7. I married to Thomas Ware, and I have 4 kids. Their names are Juan Darrell Ware, and Kenneth Ware, Melody Ware, and Brian Ware. And I have 4 grandchildren. Thomas Brooks, Joaquin Ware, DeWan Ware, and Jane Rogers. I've always lived here in Wellington, except for 1 year when I moved to South Carolina in 1970. I moved to Sumter, stayed there a year, came back and moved back in. Moved back into the big house where I stayed when I first got married. I stayed at home at that time and was raised up in the farm, on the farm at Gillenstein Moss house and between Alfred Moss house. Stories I remember most vividly about Al Moss is he having us to do a variety of, I would say chores, but tasks that he had because he was a farmer and he was an entrepreneur and he did many things to earn his money. One of the things he always had myself and my sister Joanna to do was to pick up pecans. And we always picked up pecans and we would have them get us in the morning. We had to walk there and we had to turn around, walk back. And after we picked up the pecans and got through with it, then my grandmother, Anna Moss, she would always call us in there and give her a hand full of pecans and a nickel to go by the store to get some ice cream or some cookies.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather, he liked to see you work. He didn't believe in play, and so he was very strict on us children, and we had to obey rules, and there was no such thing as you didn't know how to do something. You always, if you did, he'd take you to figure it out, or you had to figure it out because it wasn't anything that you could do.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't give me no instruction. But I appreciate everything that he did because he made me a better person. He also made my father a better person because he instilled in them what they needed to do, and they instilled in us, all 8 of us, what we needed to do to be self-sufficient and to earn our living and do the best in life that we could. The house was, I can't give you all the details exact date the house was purchased, but it was in 1856, somewhere in there. It's over 100 years old. And as William Belcher had gave some of the history how he purchased it from someone else, and they purchased it for him. He turned around and bought it from them. It has many interesting stories, and the walls to talk, but they can't. One story that I remember real vividly that my dad would tell me all the time was how when the voting first started for the blacks in the neighborhood, the guy Mr. Ware, he was going to vote in County Falls, and he was did that. Everybody was going to back him, but at that time he was the only one there. So he got beat up pretty bad, and my grandfather, he brought him back to his house and kept him there until he was well enough to leave the town. And when he did, then Granddaddy took him to Columbia, South Carolina, put him on the bus or the train, whichever one, and sent him to Buffalo, New York. He was very generous in helping people and everything that he did, even from when he was a meat cutter and sold meat. He did that. He would help families out to do that too. The house have a lot of historical values in it, some of the National Historical there. And we purchased it from William Belcher and his sister after many years. And it has a trap that goes to the basement. And also have a place that the people in there would hide when they thought the Confederate soldiers was coming. They went in one of the rooms and have a trap door, and then they would go down there to the basement. And they also have a big, high, tall ceiling and a ladder where they thought they could see better then. At that time, there wasn't many trees, so you could see way far out. Then they would go up to the top of there, which is a 2-story house. And they would get on the top of that house. And they could see when the enemy was coming or somebody was coming also. The Burt, one of the owners at that time, and he and his wife worked on it, and it was a 1-story house, and then they added the 2nd-story house. Second story to it, and while they were working on it, his wife fell and got hurt, and she never recovered from it. So the 2nd floor was never completed. Thomas, my husband, Thomas Ware, and myself completed the 2nd floor.
Wonderful.
Still a lot of the old historical value, the old historical furniture is still in the house.
Mm-hmm.
I hope very soon sometime to have it open for public viewing.
Wonderful.
My grandfather, Al Miles, at the time he had a stroke. I want to say it was 19. He was elderly. He was up in his age because my grandmother died. I want to say it was 63.
She did.
63, and he had a stroke about a couple of years after that. He was living by himself, and he had a stroke. So my dad and my mama, they moved him from up there to his house and moved him in the house with him. At that time, the only one who was there was myself and Clark.
Mm-hmm.
He moved him down in the house with us, so Clark and I helped take care of him. Also, while he was ill and everything. And he was very peculiar and very particular about who he wanted to wait on him and who was going to help him. He just didn't let anybody do it.
Mm-hmm.
But still, at the same time, I say he was a very generous man because he left each one of our parents, that includes Gillespie, which you call Buddy, Cornelius, had in each one of them, all of them, property and land that still passed down into generations today.
Wow.
Do you remember us playing jacks in the hallway? You don't remember?
Somebody got
That's
a
the
jack up
story.
their
Yeah.
nose.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I don't remember that. Who that?
We were playing jacks in the hallway at Grandpa and Grandma's house, and Clarky being the baby, and we throwing up jacks with the little ball, and Clarky took a jack and put in her mouth, and somehow she got it lodged in her throat.
Oh.
And my parents weren't there, and Grandma and Grandpa wasn't there. I don't know where they were. And they had to slap this one on the back here and take her finger and go down there and get that jack
Wow.
to save Clarky's life.
Wow.
I was in Grandma and Grandpa's house.
Mm.
Yes.
That I don't remember.
Got it.
Right back there.
All over me.
Yeah.
My name is Clarky.
Look out.
I'm the last child of Philistine and Florence Boss. I am married to Robert Roundtree. I have 2 children, Ted and Jeffrey.
No, I don't mind.
And the stories I have, I don't have many. I was just the last child. I got my way. With my brothers, with my sisters. So they say I didn't do anything, which I did. I didn't pick cotton.
What?
This is dirty pick cotton. The only thing I can remember that we did was my cousin Ellen and I walked from my mom's and their house up to the big house, and we had to help them clean up. When we finished cleaning up, they sent us back home with a quarter. We could stop by the store and get us a drink or some candy. And if we got two bars of candy, Daddy took one.
That's
So
right.
we only got one bar of candy for the whole day. We would do that maybe about once a week or a little later than maybe about every 2 weeks. But most of the time I didn't do as much as my sisters. So I can really say that. They took good care of me. So as far as Grandpa Moss, all I remember about him was you didn't give him answers. If you gave him an answer, it better been an answer he liked. If he didn't, you didn't get a scolding. You just got a sharp answer back from him. You would tell our parents. And Grandma Moss, I don't remember much about her, except that most of the time she was kind of sickly. And she stayed in the house most of the time. So I don't have as many stories as they have.
Okay.
And my sister got married. Geraldine got married in that big house too. I don't remember your Darcy's, but I remember Geraldine's. So that's all I can remember about Grandma Moss.
Awesome. All right.
Let's start with
My name's
Doris.
Doris Moss Crockett. I am the fourth child of Gildenstein and Florence Moss. Gildenstein being my father, and I have 3 children, Gail, Lorraine, and Shanna Maria, Marcus Delane, Shanna being the youngest, and Marcus is our middle child, which happens to be a son. I am related to Al Moss in that I'm his granddaughter. And if you ask me, I would say I was not only his granddaughter, but I was always the spare child. It sounds kind of funny to say the spare child. I was the spare child because I had 2 older sisters, Isadora and Sarah, and they were always around to do whatever Mama told them to do. But then along came Charles, and then I had a brother named Marion, and there are 8 of us. But I was always that in-between person. As I say, the spare child, the spare wheel.
So did that leave a mark on you?
When things weren't working out with Charles, many times, instead of Marion going, Marion was a small person at the time. He was not a huge guy, he was kind of sickly. But Daddy used to always have me to help Charles do stuff, because I was the spare. And then as I grew older, then my grandparents started calling anytime they needed anybody. It was send Doris. Send Doris. I was always that person that was kind of in between the 2 boys, in between Sarah and Joanna, Geraldine, and those down the other end. So anyway, that allowed me to be at freedom, I guess, to be able to help my grandparents out as much as I could. And I didn't know any better. I thought that's what I was supposed to do. So I was there a lot with, especially with Grandma Moss. And I used to do a lot of the cooking for her. She got very ill near the end, I guess, and I did. I was always up there doing the cooking for them and making sure that Grandma got her broccoli. And at the time, see, as things were growing in our garden, we didn't have broccoli. We didn't know what broccoli was. And then later on at that time, when I said that make sure that she got her broccoli, that was one of the new things to eat. And didn't run into Grandpa Moss a lot. I was never around him a lot. As you guys say, he was a very active businessman, which he was, which he took care of things that were outside of the house. And I was mostly around doing the things that Grandma Moss told me to do, wanted me to do. And the one thing that happened while I was there is that Elder Oliver, which was the church, from the church, he was our minister. And he later on decided, he and his wife, they had no children. And we had this group of people that came over from the bishop's house off on at Christmas time. we had to cook for them because they always stayed at Grandpa Moss's house. Well, in cooking for them, Oliver would come over later as our minister. And I always thought to myself, why are these people doing the dishes? You know, we did everything for them. We waited on them hand and foot. And then we had firecrackers, which we'd never seen before. And right there in the yard at Christmas time, we had our own firework display. But anyway, that brings me back to Oliver. Oliver, later on, he and his wife had no children. And he asked my mom if he could adopt me. And, you know, I didn't know what adoption was. I didn't even know what was going on. I didn't know I was being traded for, and I don't know for what. But anyway, I went with my mother over to, she was going to leave me that particular night, but when I got there, I guess being a child, I was confused about a lot of things. I was confused about where I was going, but anxious to go with him. But again, the way Oliver looked at me as if I was the spare child. Again, Florence has 8 children. She could spare 1. So it was me. But he said the one thing in particular that he liked was the way that I didn't just bring a load of wood. I brought an overload of wood if I went out to get wood to bring inside. So he saw something in me that he thought, you know, maybe I can work with this person. Well, anyway, after we got to Atlanta, and I was with Grandma Moss again, and I cried. And I cried because Oliver didn't come over right away to pick me up. And he said to me that someone said to my grandmother, take this child back home, and if her mother does not want her, you keep her. So I ended up going back with Grandma Moss. She did not leave me. I would not be the person I am today if she had. I would not be in this spot today if she had. But anyway, I ended up coming back home. And that subject, to my knowledge, never came up again. But he was always very, very nice to me and to my children as the years passed. Now, where does Grandpa Moss fit in there? Is that he was the one that was the instrument, I guess, in all of it, because he's the one that came to church and always sat in the back seat. And I know we talked a lot about him being a very good businessman. No doubt about that at all. He always had the money, but he never became involved in other things that were going on in the church, except he was sitting on the back seat. Maybe they asked him a lot of questions, I don't know, but he didn't seem to be too involved, and yet I know he had to have been when you think of the things that were happening in and around the church.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma Moss and the people around her, she was always very active, and as well as the other children. In this process, there was William and Rebecca. They were always there, always around. They were younger than I was, but I'm sure they remember a lot of the things that went on up there in and around Grandpa Moss because they lived there. And I slept up there many, many nights. And I remember Aunt Babe and sleeping in the room where she was. She and I, many times we slept in the same bed. But I was always afraid of that room, the one that has the stairs that goes downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Afraid that somebody would come up that stairs. Even though that door was locked. It was just one of those things. But we did lots of, as they were talking about picking up pecans, lots of picking up pecans, lots of working in the garden, and all the things that went along with, I guess, what we consider like a grandchild.
Mm-hmm.
But, and that's all I can remember right now.
Okay.
Unless you have a question for me.
What year did you get married at the Moss house?
19, what year was that, Jim? No.
Oh, not here.
Jim is out here. I know he's not out here.
But just
1965.
tell the fact about how you got married in New York. How you came back home from there.
1965 when Jim and I got married. We got married right at the big house on the front steps. And I was teaching school at that time. And Grandpa was very instrumental in my going to college. I think now that I thought about that, without him I could never have gone to college because I had no dream of even going to college. But somehow or another, he and my mom worked it out. And William mentioned something earlier that he had turkeys. I didn't know that I don't remember the turkeys. I just know that he put up some of the money that was responsible for my being able to go to college because it wasn't even a dream as far as I was concerned.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I was working at Greenwood High School when I got married. And that was when we were at the big house and got married. What are
Okay.
the questions?
I don't think that's it. I think you did good.
Awesome. All right.
My name is Hart. I'm the last of Florence and Phyllis Moss.
Hold on.